I'm gonna finish my donuts. I got 2 more. Got 2 more donuts. And then we'll do something. We'll chillax. Chillax for the day. Everything reminds me of her. I'm on content surplus day. It's alright. I've been posting again. The tooth on this side. You gotta eat something and make your teeth hurt. Not in a good way. Your teeth hurting was never a good thing anyway. Hello. There you go. Alright. I should have got closer for those quiet. Okay. Let's do the intro. We'll start at the 3-minute mark. ASMR. Until then. The taste definitely does change. It's way more, whatever. Alright, I'm gonna shut up for about 40 seconds. Do the intro. Where the last little bit? It's the last one. Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Palupa lingua. Benvenuti nella giungla dei graffiti. Questo è Impostore Rockstar. It's the fake Rockstar chat show. Pensieri tangenziali, formerly tangential dark chat show. Shout out to my co-host and doggy Heaven Baylor. Podcast with Gihareh. Cigar Talk Podcast. My cigar pipe anniversary is tomorrow. Alive. It's still Thursday. It's still Friday Eve. Saturday, the 14th. My cigar pipe anniversary. Sono to a capo. Sono Chief Gihareh. It's the last one. Ugh. I don't like this one because it has a straight stem. It has a straight stem. And that puts more pressure on your teeth. I don't like that. Also burns your tongue. I don't like that. I don't need to get to that point. At all. Man, should have been doing 444. Should have been doing that. I like that. Indubitably. I still don't know what indubitably means. Indubitably. let's go through some quotes. Let's see what we have in our handy dandy notebook. All right. First one was humble, stumble, rumble, fumble, tumble, crumble, bumble, dumbbell, Rapunzel, marble, marvel, nimble, assemble, temple, rumple, stencil, pimple, simple, dimple. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Page 2. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. The devil made me do it, but I liked it, so I did it again. Great minds think alike, so do idiots. I don't know who Boo the Fool is, but I know who it ain't. Birds of a feather flock together, so will pigs and swine. This ain't about pigs. The water is a wound. It's thicker. No. The original saying blood is thicker than water. No. The blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. So that means that loyalty is earned through commitment and not inherited through blood. All family ain't good family. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was burned in one. An eye for an eye talks about justice. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Page 2. Page 3. Energy. Female dogs love me. Kids smile at me. Strangers tell me stories. People feel safer around me. Energy doesn't lie. To be ran through in your 20s and to preach celibacy, no celibacy, that's Pokemon. To be ran through in your 20s and then preach celibacy in your 30s is wild. The walls don't exist no more. Intuition, some people call it intuition. Some people call it false accusations until you get something right. Just pulling on strings, saying anything. There was a couple more, but page 4. There's nothing on page 4, but business. We was handling business. See? And I think there's one more thing on page 5. Cinque. You know I like 5. Cinque. Let's go. Page 5. You look like hell. Yeah, I just got back. Can't go to back. I had no more vacation days. The year of the horse. Horse? Chorus. Horse. Fire horse. All right. There really ain't nothing left now. That last little bit stuck in there. Hold up. It's Young Money, man. Shawty made me smile. Still not move with the money, so baby, if we move, then we move with. I don't got my tempo. That's how you supposed to better clean that out. What it's talking about? I know it's us because we're the only thing it's talking about.
Burping is a sign of indigestion. You ate too fast. On anything. It's not too hot. Too cold, too cold. Let's do it. So dramatic. Yes. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. It's you and me. You is my destiny. You choose. I choose you. You choose me. Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bada boom, bada bam, ba bam. Touch it, bring it. One shoot. Leave it, step from at it. I see you know who the god. I'm low key. Bro, do you know how many times I have put the bag away? You know how many times? Now I'm actually a little bit frustrated. You know how many times I put this away? All right, that should be the last time. This is the last time. This is the last. That song is. I ain't thought about that song. That's Trey Songz. This is the last time. All caught up. Time to. Girl, you gon' think. Girl, you gon' think. You gon' think I am. We don't have a. This generation doesn't have a Trey Songz. We need a new Trey Songz. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I do remember. Now I know all the allegations. The lawsuits. I understand. All right. But there was a time. I don't know what music video this was. Trey Songz had some girl. He was holding her up. He's standing there, but he like, she got her legs wrapped around and something. I just remember the comments. All the girls was like, they wished it. Trey, what did you do? It should have been. They were wishing that they were that girl. Yeah, you gonna think, you gonna sing, I am. He put Carrie Hilson on the remix. Got you standing at attention. And get back to the upstairs to the Now, unpopular opinion. People be wanting the upstairs or downstairs, the attic and the basement, man. Man, I want one floor. I want a ranch house, bro. I ain't trying to be going up there, no. I ain't trying to go, no. One floor, a ranch house. I want a rose gold glass ranch house. I tell you what, boy. You know what got me? Somebody, it was a picture. And I actually saw it. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, that's what I want. I'm not sure if it was real, though. No more donuts. Well, actually, you know I got that thing on me, bro. You know I got that thing on me, bro. Hold up. We gotta save that for later. That's gonna be a nice surprise. Cause I'm gonna forget about it. I might get a little hungry. And then be like, I got a donut. Now that happened to that. I really do, but that has been happening like last few days. I had a donut stick. I forgot it was in there. So I was like laying. And then I found like, and then I heard a crinkle crackle, snap, crackle, and pop. I was like, what's that? I was like, oh, I got a donut stick. It was all crunched up. That thing just, it fell everywhere. I ain't even care. I ain't even care. I was like, I got a donut stick. And then the other day when I was watching the movies, I did the same thing. And then it was getting a little later. I was watching a movie and I was like, I got a donut. I kept watching the movie. What movie? Dang, bro. You know, usually I'm ready to just. Man, what am I called? All right. What was the purpose of this one? Oh, it was just to finish the donuts. I'm gonna try to purpose of this one just finish the donuts. All right. Now we gotta figure out how to get to midnight. Then it officially be Friday. Now, I think. Oh, the eclipse is next week on the 17th. The eclipse is next week on the 17th. Man, tomorrow, goals for tomorrow. Man, okay, go. It's not, keep the main thing the main thing. Journal, design some more stuff. Well, right as of right now, is if I go down and sit there, I got all those ones that I need to make public. Just do something with them. I need to just like one at a time. Just pick one and just be like, all right, what else do I want to do with this? I saved some stuff. I can do some shirts really easy. Convert any of the. There was one. I think I made it public. I may have or may not didn't. Oh, it was the Blastoise, Jane. The Blastoise. I didn't want. It was it'd be saving the whatchamacallit. I didn't want that saved, and so I was like, I just needed to go ahead and make that shirt just to delete some of the stuff. But energy with bite. That was really nice. Instead of getting a new snake, I got a snake lighter. So, we're looking for a guitar. What I may do. These are those. This is, Delulu is my guru. Delulu, welcome to the Book of Delusion. So, I got it, and my first two snakes died. And now I got a snake lighter. What was really cool about the snake lighter was that I gotta get some butane for it or something like that. The guy at the gas station was really trying to help. He was trying to help, whatchamacallit, because he had like the butane. I was like, he was trying to fill it up. I was like, you don't gotta do that because you're wasting your whatchamacallit, and I'm not about to buy it. But with the snake joint, oh, okay, you can kind of whatchamacallit. It's doing a little something. What I liked was, I think it turned blue and then it turned red or something. No, it turned red and turned blue. Something like that. It was like, that was really cool. So I might try to go to the guitar place and see if they have like a guitar keychain or something. And that'll be my anniversary gift for my book anniversary. That'll be my book anniversary. And then, I mean, they gotta have something. They like, if it's a guitar place, they should definitely have something. Because a keychain, I did think about a keychain today, and I was thinking I could put it like right here. It was just like a little accent piece or something like something. I wouldn't really notice it, but if I'm ever making whatchamacallit, I could be like, oh yeah, look at the guitar right there or something. I was thinking I could put a keychain on the jacket or something. Hopefully it doesn't annoy me too much. Like this. Well, this is actually a big. This one's a big keychain. Like, it's not even like a keychain. This actually has a clip. This is easy. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely want like a flat keychain or something. Be like that. Yeah, if it's a guitar, I won't be as annoyed. If it's a guitar, I won't be like, cause this is, it's not flat. You see, well, it doesn't matter. It's kind of cool, kind of maybe, not really. I mean, bro, Pokemon, bro. Like, it was the whole thing of just like they kind of were like this or something like that, like in the show. It's like that, and then they. I don't know how they would. I don't know how you would do that in real life though. I'm not sure how you would do that in real life. Why did I start this one? Did I title this something? I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. Hopefully I did. Pokemon. Bro. Pokemon has been. Oh. Well, my algorithm, my timeline, like when I open it, I'm going to see Pokemon, right? I'm going to see Pokemon. But now it's like I did the whole little deal algorithm thing, and it was like, well, yeah, I think I said Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z stuff. So I'm just saying Pokemon stuff all the time, and I'm not mad at it. I'm totally not mad at it. I see Pokemon stuff every day. Like every time I open the app, Pokemon. Well, on YouTube, a lot of I've been seeing like a lot of Avatar stuff. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. The last one I seen was Iroh. But my hesitation with watching some of this stuff is like again, like I said, I haven't watched Legend of Korra, so I don't be wanting to like see certain videos. And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this stuff yet, so this stuff is new to me. I don't want to watch what call it. Like there was a different video about the so you know the Library of Alexandria, but you know like in Avatar they was walking in the desert and they had to do the whole thing with the owl and it was in the library and whatnot. I seen the episode, so I'm okay with watching anything that's related to that. But they be talking about other stuff, and then I saw another video and they're talking about Aang passing away. I was like, whoa, whoa. I know Aang did pass away because that's the only reason you can get a new Avatar, a Legend of Korra. But I was like, I'm not ready for that. I didn't. I need to. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that Legend of Korra. I also gotta watch Attack on Titan. I seen all the way up to season 8, part 1, but part 2 didn't release till like the next year, and I was like, bro, it was just taking too long. I just never got back around to it. So I just and uh, Attack on Titan, you gotta follow the storyline. Well, it's I don't know how people are when they watch certain stuff because you know like if you read the manga, you have a different understanding. I ain't never read the mangas for none of this stuff, so it's the just understanding because like I just know like the Beast Titan, the big like the ape one that be throwing, he's related to Aaron, and I was trying to tell somebody else the other day. I was like, yo, if you're it's a movie called The Harder They Fall, and so like it's a really tricky little thing, but you know the thing about Aaron's father was that he lived with the whatchamacallit, and this is one of those things I never understood either. It was because it got some like little. If how can I talk about this? You know, okay. Um, I'm not even sure what you call like the prisoners and stuff in during World War II. Okay, you got the Nazis and whatnot. I don't know. I don't understand. There's something like that in Attack on Titan. Like there are certain people and they have like this little band on their arm, and they have to wear that band, and that lets the other people know that they're a certain type of people, or whatever. Like Attack on Titan has that concept because those people are not treated for like those. There's something about those people, whatever. And I think Aaron's dad, for whatever he was a part of whatever that one little thing is. He left. He went to the other Jane, and that's where he meets Aaron's mom. But he had a whole family, so that's why you can kind of understand like that whole with Beast Titan, him and Aaron, and then like the thing that he wouldn't have a positive feeling about that towards Aaron. And if you ever seen the movie The Harder They Fall, that's how that movie starts. Well, you don't learn out until later in the movie, but that movie, boy, I think they could do a part 2 or something. And The Harder They Fall, right? The movie starts off. This is the first in the movie, right? You got like a mom. She's setting up. I don't know if it's like dinner or breakfast or whatever it is. Like she cooking or something like that. I don't know. Boy about to eat. It's some around the food or whatever. They get a knock at the door. So, dude come in, but mind you, they don't show the face of the people that come in, but they do like with the foreshadowing. You see a couple little things about them. So, dude come in, and the dude recognize him. So the father recognizes the one of the men that came in. He was like, "Hey, listen, immediately he tries to diffuse the whole situation. Hey, man, this ain't third, boom, boom, da da da." Like he tried to diffuse the whole situation, like the whatever. And the dude it ain't no negotiation. It ain't no, oh, this was this and the third. First thing they do, boom, take out the mom. Gone. This is the first few minutes of the movie. Boom, take out the mom. Oh, snap. And it's in front of the little boy. So it's the mom and dad and the little boy. They come in, boom, take out the mom. And so it's on the guy's basically on some stuff like, yeah, I wanted you to see your wife get taken in front of you. Boom. Then he take out the dad. So they done took out the mom, they done took out the dad. And the only thing they do show you, like, one of the guys has like a tattoo like right here or something. And then the little boy just there by himself. So it was the mom, the dad, and the little boy. They took out the mom, the dad, and left the little boy there, right? Just left him there. They leave. They walk in, and then leave, right? So then the next part of the movie is walking into a church. You walk into the church, and then you see the guy praying. Not praying. It's whatever, right? But the guy who walked into the church, he say, "What would possess a man to put a scorpion tattoo on his hand?" Right? And so, but it's the pastor, right? So the pastor, the priest, whatever that's inside this church building, the guy walks into the church. He says, "What would possess a man to put a scorpion on his hand?" So that's the identifying thing. So then you kind of realize that that man that just walked into the church was that little boy who had his mom and dad killed in front of him. And so, the guy's in there, boom, he about to try, but we not negotiating. We ain't about to have no conversation about this and the third. Boom. He take him out. And then the harder they fall, right? So boom. Oh. This is the other part. I missed the part. They took out the mom and the dad. They let the little boy live, but he took a knife. And I think this is either when he took out the mom or this when he took out the little boy. That's when he saw the scorpion on his hand, right? And they go to the little boy and they put a cross in his head. Fast forward later, you see the grown man. He got the cross in his head. He find that man with the scorpion jam in his hand. Boom, he take him out. So that's how he get that, right? Now the other guy, so he has a bit of solace because remember it was two guys that walked in. They don't never really show the other guy. But the one with the scorpion in his hand, he took him out. That was me in the beginning. But so then he's like, all right, well, I have a little bit of solace in life, because he's whatchamacallit. But apparently the other guy, his name is Rufus Buck. Now, Rufus Buck is supposed to be in jail for, basically like life. He's supposed to be in jail forever type of thing. But we don't know what Rufus Buck looked like. So, but that's the other guy. But he knows who he is, and he know where he at, or he should be in jail, or he should be the third. So, but anyway, they run in gangs and this and that. And then what ends up happening, basically Rufus Buck has a gang, and the guy with the cross on his head Love, Nat Love. I think his name is Nat Love or something like that. I think the last name is Love. So Rufus Buck was the other one you look for. I think the main character name is Nat Love, the little boy that had his parents executed with the cross on his head. And so Nat Love has a gang too. So they got their own gangs and whatnot. So it's a train. And then I don't know the one lady, but she do really good in this movie. She do pretty solid. She she on a horse. And so she put her horse in front of the train. The train is moving. Chugga 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 chugga. Choo 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 choo. So then the train. So she put her horse in front of the train. She on her horse, and then the train is coming to a stop. And then so basically she gets the rest of the gang, and then they go on the train or whatever. So on this train though, it was carrying Rufus Buck, right? But you don't really know that. You just know that it's a gang, and then it's on the third. So they get on the train, and then of course people trying to act like they don't really know this and the third, boom, boom. But eventually they're like, go ahead, open the joint up, and this and the third. So then, this is why I think this is one of the hardest like intros, right? Of a person being introduced. So mind you, you don't know what he look like, you don't know who it is in the beginning. Then he in this little like it's a cage, he locked up on the train or whatever. They unlock the jank. It start off with the feet, right? But it ain't that fast. It's slow. It's like and you see the chains and everything, right? And then it like eases up or whatever, and then and then they take the cuffs off, and then I forget they asked him, it was like, who in here know how to operate the train or whatever, or something like that. So the one person like, right? And then he say, everybody but him. They take out everybody on the train. They take out everybody on the train, and he just walk off the train. That was one of the hardest intros ever, bro. So he get out the jank, and then he be like, "Who in here know how to operate a train?" The one person raised their hand because he don't want to know how to drive the train. Then he be like, "Everybody but him." They let go on everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Take out everybody train except for the one done, right? So basically, that's Rufus Buck. So Rufus Buck get out, and then Nat Love. So then it cut back to like Nat Love or whatever, right? Nat Love is he at the bar. Now at the bar, it's a lady. You know, I guess it's like his old flame, old love, whatever. He go to see her. She singing. You know, whatever little country, little soulful type of singing, whatever she doing. She got everybody captivated. And then when she get off, she see him, she talk to him. And she's like, what you think, man? I want to see you in this and third, boom, boom, boom. It's about to get hot and heavy. And then the one boy come in. Oh, y'all was in here having so but then they break that up, and then they was like, well, listen, Rufus, the cop, the sheriff. Now the sheriff, so this is why I say, like, in Sinners, this is why I say, like, when you got a certain cast of people and you like, okay, I seen this person and they did good in this movie, this movie, this movie. So if they do bad, I'm blaming the person whoever wrote the script. The sheriff guy, he the guy to play the harmonica. I don't be knowing actors' name. I don't be knowing actors and actresses. If they not like super, whatchamacallit, I don't be knowing their name. So he a decent actor though. But he plays the harmonica in Sinners. But so he's a sheriff in this one. So he come in, he want to talk to Nat Love, and he say, listen, Rufus Buck is out. And so basically they had had this whole plan. Rufus Buck done took over this other city and whatnot. So, and I'm gonna just jump a little bit. There's a whole bunch of, now my favorite line in this movie is this one guy. Hold on. Hold up. Quick Draw. So I don't think they call him Quick Draw. I forget how this. I don't. This my he might all he do. He be playing with the whatchamacallit all day. Like he supposed to be quick with the hands, right? He the whole quick. He quick with the hands. He like when it comes to personality and third. I really rock with his character, bro. I really rock with his character, bro. So but he got he say this one thing. Patience is a virtue, but I ain't never looked long enough to say the motherfucker was true. So just I'm gonna skip through the whatchamacallit, but I just have to mention him because there's another guy. So back then it's about whatever, and they'd be like, well, who is the fastest in this and the third? So he finally is the two guy. Now the other guy, I don't know his name either, but he's pretty decent. He played in shoot, I don't really know the name of this movie at all. But he playing this one movie where it's like you gotta like code switch. So he be like, you talk. Oh, if you ever seen that scene, it's this scene in the movie. He be like, you smell really good. Well, I think you are a wonderful person. I think you are an amazing person. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have better days for the rest of your life. They had this like compliment battle or whatever. So he's in that jank, right? I don't know. I forget the name of that jank. I don't think I ever seen that movie or whatever. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. Uh, so anyway, but he's the other guy. Now he has a I kind of sort of like his character too. The way the things that he has to say and the things that he does, I kind of like his character too. So I like both of them characters, right? But both of them have a lore about quick draw, right? So they don't, but we don't know who is really fast or whatever. They finally just them two. Everybody watching. Everybody stop. It's just them two. It's about the showtime. Tell me why old boy gone. He all cause you supposed to just put your joint in the thing and then 1 or 3, 2, you know. So but he doing all this talking and playing and then the one he go and the one boy bang and he's like he ain't do it right, it won't fair. So that was like a heart crushing part of him. He was like, bro, why you and then they be like and so he be like, I hate when they talk too much and this and that third. So I was like, mother. So the other girl, what's her name? This is the other girl. Her name Cuffy. I think her name Cuffy or something. She was security. She was security at the bar. So the thing is, she eventually get him back for that, and she be like, "Whatchamacallit was faster," and it just break your heart because she's like, "God damn it, man, you ain't never get to whatchamacallit." She was like, "Whatchamacallit was faster." Um, so that I just had to mention that part. But why am I talking about this movie? Because we got to take it back to Attack on Titan with Aaron and the Beast Titan, right? With the whole and Aaron's father and his father having the same father. And I told you. Now, the thing was, in the beginning of the movie, you had those two guys walk in. Nat Love took out the one guy. What will possess a man to put a scorpion on his hand? So he took out the one guy. But then Rufus Buck is him and Rufus Buck, and he talking to him. And Rufus telling him like, yeah, your dad is my dad. And he was like, your dad left my mom and he went on to have like this beautiful, nice family. He became like this good, God fearing man and he treated your mom really nicely and all this other stuff. I don't know that man. The man I knew was abusive and this and the third and da 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 woo woo woo. So so it's one of those like at this point in time you can kind of sort of you have a kind of sort of understanding for Rufus Buck and in such a way and so this is one of them like psychological type of John. So Rufus Buck was like, yeah, your last name not Love, your last name Buck, and you my brother and this and the third. So and so it's one of them things where it's like that is kind of tough though, right? So like the dad was he was abusive. He used to beat on the mom and I think that was the one thing. I think he might have like really I don't know if he really hurt the mom. I don't know if he took the mom out or something like that. But anyway, he left them. He left him as a kid, and so he grows up not knowing his like well he knew his father, but he knew his father to be a bad man. And then, but his father had this whole, he went off, left them, abandoned them, started a whole nother family, and became this good, righteous, God-fearing man. And then so, but basically he tells him like, yeah, he said, you different from me. And so, cause he's on some like, you gonna kill your brother, right? He was like, I let my brother live. And so like, it's one of them things like, but he was like, the reason he did it was so that it's like there's a similarity in a sense that, okay, he grew up with he he partially grew up with his father, so because he knew he was, but he didn't know him to be a good person. But then he leaves his life, right, and so he has to go grow up without his father. And so so what he does was he recreates that pain for his brother, so that his brother doesn't grow up with a father. But he knows his father, he knows who his father was, but at least he knows his father to be a good man in a sense. And so he and so the thing was, he saw him as a kid though, and he put that mark on his head because he was like, I knew you would always come back and find me. And so he was like, you a better man than me because you gonna kill your brother. And so like now that is the one thing, right? It was the fact that he could have took his technically his brother out when he was a kid, and he didn't. And so he was like, but I let you grow up so you would know what that pain felt like, not growing up without your father, type of thing, and your mother. And so like that was deep. That was deep. That was deep. I'm relating that to the Attack on Titan, having the same father. The father leave the family, go start another family, and it's on the third. And so it's like you recreate that pain. That was tough. That was tough. And then he still, not love, still go ahead and just like take him out. He was like, nah, this ain't third. I'm not sure. I feel like there's something about the whole, well, nah, like, you know, like just growing up without a father, and then like whatever that the direction that you go in because you don't have that male leadership. And there's a lot of things that just have like being a father, like how to talk and how to engage with women in life and people in general, like like you'll gravitate, like they talk about like with Freud has the groundworks for the whatchamacallit, and if you he has the extreme, which people kind of like will make it negative in such a sense, but there's an element of truth to it, of gravitating towards the opposite uh, gender parent. So a boy will gravitate towards the mom, and a girl will gravitate towards the father. And there's a lot that goes within that dynamic. However, the other part of it, though, is like how do you the mannerisms and things you're still going to pick up from the same. So the woman's gonna you still gonna pick up the mannerisms from the mother, and the boy's gonna take up those mannerisms and things like from the father and whatnot, like those type of things. So if that element is missing, where do you gain that guidance, right? Where do you gain that guidance? And so there's just a lot of things with the parent and a child and stuff like that. But um, yeah, and that plays within confidence and motivation and things like that. So it was just both of them having to go through that. Anybody having to go through that, right? So that was a deep, you know, part to the movie, like that last little part, and that was like that last little plot twist, them actually having the same father, and then he still has to learn how to fend for himself. He has to learn how to fend for himself, but again, that's what his brother kind of sort of had to do. So could you ever forgive somebody like that, or his thing was he wasn't going to have any type of solace, like in power, you know, like the one thing about power, right, was the whole. I think it's like episode one. Ghost asked Tasha. He was like, what did you ever picture me to be? And she says, exactly what you are right now, like this. And he was like, you never want more or something different. She's like, no. And I feel like that conversation is very important. You know, we good. Like, and so, but him, his motivation, he was always trying to get it to so where he can get out of whatchamacallit and be legitimate. But Tommy and Tasha kept wanting to bring it right back to, and he's like, bro, I'm trying to get out. And then, the whole, so people, it was weird because I ain't understand. I don't know if it was like the women or whatever. They people was really like frustrated with Angela Valdez, and but technically she would have been. But there's the whole thing. It's like she was originally there, and then they kind of split ways. And but Angie, she saw that she wanted, and she saw the life that Ghost still wanted, and she was trying to get him to do that, and she was with him to be whatchamacallit. Now that's why I say, like, with Tasha, I think if Tasha had the mentality of trying to get out and be with him and stuff like that, it would have been entirely different. But then, things happen. Tasha gets with the driver. She out here splashing her stuff to the driver and whatnot. She get with the lawyer. Tasha just started, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh no, I couldn't, no, I can't rock with it. She was start giving it away, boy, I tell you. So that was that. But all the men could understand Ghost. And it was like he was happy with Angie, man. She was trying to he wanted that different life, man. He wanted that different life. That'd be a whole thing too. That'd be like people trying and Ozarks. it, my thing with Ozarks was it didn't when I finally got to that one point I was like, bro, it's always Marty tells them what to do. They go do what the opposite, and then he has to clean up their mess. It's like, bro, just like, please, can y'all just follow directions for one time? And so Marty, he's so smart. He always trying to get out, and this on the third, and then something happens because of some pitfall, and then he got to be like, well, I still got to deal with this and them. Those things be like kind of sort of cool or whatever, kind of sort of maybe whatnot. I don't know. Oh, phone is at 10%. Phone is at 10%. Oh man, I got to charge. That's a decent time. 11:09. That's a decent time. But those is. I don't even know how do we. Why I don't know why I started. Why did I start? Oh, I just wanted to do the whole thing with that. Yeah, I don't think I gave this no title. I don't think I gave this no title. Anyway, any other movies I can talk about or shows? Those are some good ones, man. Those are some good ones. I don't know what happened anymore. I don't know what's going on. This like life feels. I don't know. Life is very much. I don't know. I don't know what the heck. Like the files have given people something to talk about every day. They done found something new. It's this, is that, bro. I can't even whatchamacallit. I don't read none of them. I just go to the comments see what they talk about, and then there's always something like, well, well, sabotage. Da 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 da. So like, somebody tried to say something today. What they say? Oh, now like with the spread of diseases and whatnot, they was like, oh, they knew such and such was going to happen, but they was talking about it in 2017, 2016. They was talking about it beforehand, like years beforehand. And so there was another person that was just like, well, all of them. I don't. It was this. I don't know if the person was an epidemiologist or they studied such and such or whatever it is, but there's. They were trying to say that all the countries kind of know that okay, there's like something's going to be on this like outbreak or whatever. This was like a when the person said it, I was like, you can kind of sort of understand because they completely because there's a lot of people who will like fear tactics, spreading misinformation, this and the third. People because people just run with certain stuff. So Denzel has the whole quote. They're not even trying to be right. It's just who's going to say something first, and then they could be wrong, and then they don't go back and retract. They don't send no apology, nothing. So I was saying that to say, oh, it was something about like diseases are going to it. I don't know how they was trying to explain it, bro. Diseases are gonna always just gonna be around and be present, just gonna like come out and just like spread. So they're always actively monitoring it, and it was like okay, they can kind of tell or notice that like this is gonna be a spread. This is spreading. This is spreading. Like it's something like that. Like a disease is going to spread and they're like monitoring it so they kind of know like oh this is potentially like going to have a spread or something like that but it's like recurring. I hope that makes sense. It's like a wave, and so like they can eradicate something but they kind of know like, okay, this is spreading and it's about to be a whole thing. And then like even once they finish it, there's still going to be something else that's still spreading, and then it's about to. So it's like there's like a wave of diseases that are just constantly rolling, just for some reason, somehow, some way, and they're always like a new something. It can happen, and because like if you like at this point in time, I can mention some, like there was mad cow disease, H1N1. Of course, you had 2019. There's always Ebola was big at one point. Like they say, like those things just like it comes in waves and da da da. So it's always going. It's going. So like there'll be another one. Like within the next 10 years, and I wouldn't even say 10 because I just named what I said: mad cow, H1N1. Uh, you had 19. You had Ebola. So that's four. So I would probably say roughly every what 8 years. So roughly every 8 years, there's going to be an epidemic. It's just like that's just a thing. Every 8 years or so, roughly, I'm pretty sure because I just named four: mad cow, H1N1, Ebola, and 19. So there's one just roughly every 8 years. So that means with that, if you just kind of follow that kind of sort of trend or whatever, that was 19 and 20. So like, is this 2026? So I would probably say within the next 2 years, there's going to be another one. And so that means what, 2027, 2028, there'll be another like outbreak or epidemic. Like it will be on the verge of another one. That it's just a thing. It's just, and so, but the countries know that. Like, like who? Not the owl. The owl says, "Who's on first?" That joke, I need to learn that joke because that's like a common joke or whatever. Who's on first? Da 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 boom boom boom. But what I don't even know what who stands for. World Health Organization. So like yeah, the countries know that they know which disease and potentially when it's going to be a whatchamacallit. So I would if I had to make I would probably say within the next 2 years. I feel like it will be on the verge of one or something. They'll know about it, and it's the it's the whatchamacallit too. So you have the what do you do with this information, right? It's the like I said, they knew about it in 2017. They were talking about it, and like it's there, right? So they were talking about it, and that was 2 years prior to. And so the things that they are going to try to do to to not stop it, but to protect their own assets and whatnot. So those type of things. Uh, those are the things to like kind of sort of maybe you're not looking forward to. Because one of the things that they talk about is like a cashless society, which you know pros like there's pros to certain things, and then of course there's cons to it as well. And but cash is king, you know what they say. But like one of the other things, I think there was I think Bitcoin does have a whole thing, and people there was this whole about money laundering, potentially maybe there was a lot of just whatever. I think this still makes me think about the whole when it comes to money. If you want to know what God thinks about money, look who He gave it to. But like one of the things with money is that like with them, it's still one of those like Elon. Like I think I saw a list like Elon. They was like if you look like the rich some of the like richest people, Elon made the other billionaires look poor. Like you know how I said like, oh, King Solomon has 700 wives, but then second place had like 14. It's like that. Elon has like 800 billion, and then like the next ones have like in the teens, and so it's like that type of thing. But one of the things to think about is like, okay, like one part I can kind of understand if like with Bezos or something like that. Bezos. I say him, right? Because I don't really know about this and that third, but it's like, well, he created something. He has this machine, and it's just a matter of it becoming like just it's on autopilot. He doesn't have to. It's like those type of things, right? Um, but I'm saying Bezos in a sense of let's say you make something, create something, and then it kind of just generates that income or whatever. So like, for, I don't. Bezos is the way I kind of like look at it in the sense of like, he has this level of I don't he doesn't come across as if he's trying to actively continue to like I'm trying to figure out how I can explain this to you. Like, let's say you got a restaurant and the restaurant's doing really well, and then you're like, is the restaurant's doing so well? So and then people are like, well, I don't want to have to go way over here. Can you make one in this country? Not this country. Well, I could say country, right? But in this state, and this one's like, well, I need it in this state too. And then so it's like the demand of it and just being everywhere. So it's like, all right, bro, I gotta be able to expand this and a third. Because you know Amazon has it with like you can get groceries, you can get prescriptions. You can get card, you can get mad stuff off Amazon, right? So it's one of those things where it's it doesn't even have to be him trying to actively. He doesn't come across if he's actively trying to, but it's on some like a person who sells iPhones or something is like, well, I want to be able to put it on Amazon because people can probably just whatchamacallit, and it's the whole thing, right? You can go on Amazon, type in iPhone, and buy an iPhone. And so somebody could just be like, well, I want to sell this and that third. And so it's like it's the expansion of in that regards. But Elon has the little parts of it's like, no, the Zuckerberg is more like, yeah, I'm trying to get this one, I'm gonna try to get this, I'm trying to get the Meta, and I gotta take out this social media, and so Zuckerberg still operates. It seems as if he operates in that sense. I'm saying this to say like with their motivation for like more money, right? Because it's like, okay, well, how much do you really need, and do you this and the third? And so for me, Bezos doesn't come across as like he's really trying to like get more. He just has a system that is just it's just kind of growing. It's effortlessly growing, and it makes sense for it to have this capability or have that capability. And he's not trying to. He doesn't come across as if he's trying to do certain things. It's just that's just how the business is growing. But I'm saying this is in the sense of like those who are actively trying to pursue to like still get more money. It's like, yo, you're a billionaire. So what are you still like what are you still trying to do and set up in certain regards and in that sense, right? That's the one thing that maybe kind of sort of like I would kind of sort of those are the questions that I would kind of like if I had to sit down with t- it's the I think the other the let's see if I can get to a question. It's like because you know like we're having a certain amount of money, certain amount of poverty, something like that. And I think, you know, one of it is so that you're safe, right? And because, you know, people can either go bankrupt or it's this and that. So it's like, how much money do you need to like officially be that safe so that it's like, and is that the motivation? Is like, are you trying to have it such that if no matter what happens, like you'll always be good type of thing? You'll always be able to have whatever life? Um, that's the type of question I would want to ask uh, like Zuckerberg. That's the type of question I want to ask him. You know, um, maybe Bezos too. Like, is money still like a motivation for you? Is it? Are you still trying to act like? Or what are your motive? Like, actively trying to pursue or anything like that? Elon. Elon is more like he. So I have a different like lens and perspective in which I look at it. Like, cause you know, I liked what Elon said when he said that it doesn't look futuristic. Like the world we live in looks like 2015. So when he was like, when he showed you the train that he's trying to have or whatever, he was like, I even just designed it so that it looks like we're moving into the future. Like things look futuristic, you know, flying cars and like he's he's trying to do things like that, you know. Um, Now I'm not saying I agree or I know everything that he's sitting there watching, but he's pushing certain things forward. And same thing with Kanye. It was, you know, in the fashion, like the fashion in the shoe game, it was with the removal of Kanye from like the fashion industry and the shoe game, it like that whole thing fell off after that. Like that whole shoe game fell off. and we never got certain shoes and concept. And but you saw, like, regardless of what you agree with this and a third of, again, their personal lives, with what their creation put pressure on other people to then move forward in such a way. So again, case in point, you saw the Yeezy slides. As simple as that was, you saw so many variations. The foam runners, as you saw so many variations of people trying to do this. It put the pressure to move forward, do something different outside of just the generic design third. Elon, same thing. Whether you like or whether you or dislike the electric or EVs, the electric cars, you what did that make every other car company do? Make an all electric vehicle. Simple as that, right? So Elon, from the lens I look at, and I don't try to descend third too much. I'm not, but it is like trying to move progressively in certain regards. And his is on some. It just so happens now. The way he's honest about certain things too, and this is the okay. If you could, right? How would you go about doing certain things? And so, like with the whole electric car thing, you don't like he. I really love saying this. There is a building in Texas that has no employees, and it builds cars by itself. He set it up in such a way that he doesn't even have to have employees, and it's going to build the Tesla by itself. And if something goes wrong in this Tesla, he knows how to build a Tesla from scratch. And he can pinpoint, oh, this needs to fix or this needs to change. He can build a car from scratch, right? So he's very honest, and he says, like, 'cause I think a lady asked him, okay, if all you had was $1,000, how would you get back to being like a billionaire or whatever? But he literally, like, this is because that's basically what he did with Tesla. Is basically like he would get investors. And so, like, that's one of those things, like, you hate on it, you knock it because you're not as smart or as talented. You can't do those things, right? But that's why I say it's also a bit of, I look at that in a sense of like outstanding. That's very if you could, right? See, that's why I'm not sure the word I'm trying to look for right now, but like same thing Kanye did with the stem player, like, and that was one of my issues with Kanye, but like getting pre-orders. That's basically having people invest in your product and idea, and then you use the funds to actually create it. That's basically what he did with Tesla. Elon basically was like, okay, this is that and the third. I think the first real original Tesla or something like that. I think he took. I think he took like a. I think he took a Lotus or something like that, and he like took that as like the groundworks or whatever. But he flipped the whole insides and this and the third to make it such and such. I'm not sure if that's the first roadster. I forget how it really go, but basically like he's able to do that, right? Because he's so smart and he knows how to build a car from scratch. He can say, hey, I got a prototype, I got this and a third. He can get investors and he can get people to invest in that idea, and because that's what basically Tesla is. You got to put a down payment on it. I think the last time I checked, and this was a couple years ago, but I think you either had to put like 5,000. Like you gotta like well actually it's a Tesla Roadster. I know that for sure. For the Tesla Roadster, I think you gotta put up like 50,000 as your whatchamacallit, and then pay the rest of it at a certain time or something like that. So, but I'm saying he has it in such a way that he's like, okay, I have this idea, and I have proof that I can actually get it done. I need you as an investor to put the money up, and then I'd be able to get it done. I took off my little flow, but you get the gist and the point of what I was trying to say. He's able to do that. And so, if you were able to do that, like I gave you two examples: Kanye doing it with the stem player, Kanye doing it with most of his clothing and merchandise, Elon doing it with cars. If you're able to do that, if you're able to say, okay, I have an idea, and you're able to get people to give pre-orders and invest in your idea, that is a commendable thing to do. And so one of the things is to like, it's a thought concept like, man, what could I do or whatever? What could I create? that people are like, yo, yeah, I would like to see this. I would like to see this invented, created, or whatever, pre-orders, and use the money to do exactly that. Now you're gonna have to be well invested into an idea and and be able to create it. But it's if all it was a matter of funds, then get it's just we'll get the investors, and it's either people, grassroots, or another thing. Again, it's commendable. I forget. There's a bank, and I think it's in New York. I watched this documentary on cigars, and so one of the cigar people, and it's still an established, reputable cigar company now, right? It's a cigar documentary. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's called Hand Roll. So what the guy does is he, like, again, like I told you, if you give the seed, right? If you give the seed to Perdomo, if you give the seed to my father, if you give the seed to Arturo Fuente, if you give the seed, that same seed, to different cigar companies, they're based in different locations, is they're curing, their aging process, everything that they do, you can give them the same seed, they'll give you back a different cigar. All of them will give you a different complexion for a type of cigar, right? And this you get all the same seed because of the soilness at third. So there's this one guy, he was like, well, I want to have my company based over here. I want to use this soil and da 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 blah, blah, blah. He takes his family, goes up there to this bank, and he asks for like 100,000. No collateral. No collateral. And he tells him this is what I'm about to do. They give him the 100,000. He takes his family over there, and he has a whole cigar business. I forget which one it exactly is, but that's the story. It's in a documentary. It's in a documentary called Hand Roll, man. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Actually, I gave you an example with cigars, cars, fashion, and technology. Technology was I'm talking about the Kanye stem player, like Tesla with the whatchamacallit, the cigar company. I forget exactly which one it was, but like just the people who are able to do that, have those ideas, create something, and then be able to go get that. So those are definitely like types of things to like sit there and like know or think about. And then again, the Lulu until it's Lulu. There's a lot of angel investors. There's a lot of people you just never really know. Closed mouths don't get fed. You just never know. You can just walk in and say, "Hey, this is what I'm trying to do." Drafting up if you got a actual business plan and say, "Hey, this is how I kind of want to start it. The funds will be used for this and this. This is how I plan to expand. This is what I plan to create." And if you're able to come in and you talk to the right person, and they hear it and they can say, "All right, well, this is a taking. This is a chance." And well, I'm not sure about how things are now. The economy ain't the dollar. I think the last time I saw the conversion rate, the British pound was like like 1.3, 1.4, something like that. And I think it was 1.34 comparison to like 0.78 the U.S. dollar, something like that. It won't that strong. It won't that strong. I think China might be 1 to 1. I'm not sure, but that did come up slightly in conversation today. The conversion rate.